All right, so the first card is going to be, what does money mean to you? What does money mean to you? Okay, it gives you freedom. This is Andromeda. When she is rescued by Perseus, she is in a state of freedom. So money gives you freedom. It breaks your chains off. It makes you feel unstuck. It gives you motivation. It gives you direction, and you just feel a lot of freedom. But let's just take a look at the clarification to that. Okay, so we got the broken heart, which means that whenever you have money and you have this freedom, it actually helps your old wounds where you felt disheartened before, where you felt connected to someone who was maybe treating you poorly. Having money and breaking away from that person really gives you a lot of strength. And I can feel right now that that may have even happened to you once before, but the money always gives you a way to kind of stay away from a broken heart too, because you don't have to get mixed up with people um, who take care of you and then and make you feel codependent. Okay, so that was an interesting card to get right off the bat for Cancers, and that kind of makes sense because I had a feeling for your energy earlier that in the year too, that maybe you had a relationship where the other person wasn't providing as much for you. Okay. And then what is your relationship to the energy of money? Now, we don't usually think of money having an energy, but it's just like anything else. It radiates, it has a frequency. So I want to see if you're vibing good with money or if you're not vibing good. So again, with my nosiness, let's find out. Okay, so you have the Emperor card and you have the Aries card. So having money that or your relationship or your energy to money makes you feel strong. It makes you feel powerful. It makes you feel like you can conquer the world. So money has a very good effect on you, okay? As long as it remains a good energy and you don't feel like all of that's taken away from you and you don't have it. Because remember, you always, have value on your own. But let's take a clarification card. Okay, the Angel of Love. So again, with the love and the money. So it's all mixed together for you, right, Cancer? The love and money, but you have the Angel of Love on your side. So anytime you feel sort of trapped in a relationship where, you feel like you're giving more, whatever, call on your Angel of Love and just make them help you feel unconditional love for yourself and unconditional love for that other person, and you'll just see how things start to work out a little bit better for you in terms of prosperity. Okay, so the next card is, what does money offer you when you finally have it? What good does it do you? Let's take a look and find out. So you have the Five of Cups, which is also the Ophiuncus. So money has a healing effect on you. When you get it, you feel more secure, you feel more stable, you feel more emotionally, you feel emotional well-being. So it's very important to you. I can see that is, I mean, it's important to everybody, but if you look at some of the other readings that I've done, it's important in a different way. But for you, there's a lot of emotional attachment to it, and I want to find out. Okay, so here's the clarification card. It's the Angel of Strength. So when you have money, you feel powerful. You feel like you're able to take care of yourself and take care of the people that you care about and the people you're responsible for. So that's what money offers you. Okay, and so then how do you make the most of your money? Let's see how can you it's sort of like when you make money, you put money back into whatever you're trying to do. So how can you make the most of that? So let's find out. Okay, so you got the Three of Cups and you got the Argos. Okay, so this, I don't know if your job has something to do with traveling or if you felt like you could travel more, you could make more money. So money basically, to make the most of your money, it looks like at this particular moment, I don't know if it's just for this month of June, that being able to travel is going to help you make money, because that's what this is saying. So to make the most of that, of your money, may mean that you need to take a trip to go somewhere or take a trip to get a new job or relocate or something like that. So maybe that's where your money would be well spent, is traveling to where you need to go or either relocating. That's what this card is telling me in this particular reading. But let's get some clarification and find out. So the door to value. So it may be that you need to be, I don't know if it's to travel far. It could just be to travel more around your city or where you live, or maybe just getting out is going to help you make more money, or relocating. But it's going to lead to money because I just picked this up. It didn't really tell me exactly what you have, where you're trying to go, but it did tell me that probably but then whatever journey you have to take, it's going to get you here. It's going to lead you to money. Okay, so the next card is going to be, do you have a surplus or do you have a shortfall of money? Meaning, do you have enough right now saved up? Are you going to be okay, or do you need to make more? So let's find out. So you have winter. So this is cool because I've been getting these seasonal cards a lot when we talk about the money. So this is telling me here that probably have enough money at least to last through the winter, but then after that your surplus might start to dwindle down a little bit. And I think that now it's hitting me this, when I have these feelings that you're gonna have to get back out and do whatever it is that you were doing, or travel to wherever you were going, or relocate or something. But you need to have that happen sooner rather than later, because maybe I feel like you don't have a lot of money past the winter time. And so you're going to have to get creative on how to get more money in the bank so that past winter time you still start building back up your surplus. So you might have a shortage towards the winter, but then after that you're going to be able to pick back up as long as you can get away and get out and start making money again. So let's get a clarification on that one. Okay, so it's a woman holding a coin. So this means you're going to have to be, this is a feminine energy. It's being smart about your money. Or reaching out to someone or another female who's been smart about her money in the past and getting some ideas. So if you're a male, it could be your wife. If she's successful, maybe get tips from her, or your mom, or someone in your family that's a feminine energy, or even a coworker or someone has made a success. Reach out to that person, because that's going to put money in your purse. Okay, it's going to put coin in. Okay, all right. So next, let's find out what expense should you eliminate? What expense should you eliminate? Now, this has been the coolest card for me to pick, because I always get to find out what you guys are spending your money on. So let's check it out. Okay, so the Princess of Cups, and this is a fall card. Okay, so you've been emotionally spending your money. So I don't know what it's been on. It could be another person that you're emotionally attached to, but also it could have had started in the fall of last year, that you spent too much money on at this particular time. So that maybe you didn't know that you were going to need more money for the future, so you sort of went overboard a little bit during the fall, or you spent your money emotionally on someone during the fall. And you could have been, quite literally, it could have been a Libra, could have been a Sagittarius, could have been Scorpio, some kind of energy. But it seems to me like definitely some money was spent back in the fall that might have created a little bit of a deficit. Okay, so let's take a look at the clarification and find out. So it says action. So this means like maybe you and another person were spending a lot of money, or you were spending a lot of money on another person for activities, something that you were doing, some action you were trying to take, whether it was trying to get more, spending more money in your investments. You were taking action there, or buying things for your company or your business to make the business grow. It could just be software. It could be something that you spent some money on to create an action to get more money, but maybe at that time you didn't realize you were going to need more money right now. So you're at where you created a little bit of a deficit. So now let's see. What do you need to do to get to a realistic financial goal? So what kind of strategy should you put in place on June 2nd? Because that's when Pallas is going to enter Capricorn. You're going to get super organized, and that's really going to help you manifest what you're looking for, and it's going to also lead you to the goal. So what's a realistic goal for you? So that's what we're looking at here. So this is the Corvus, and it is the Six of Wands, which is good because that means a lot of manifestation there. And the Corvus is it's a black raven, but it's good news. That means good news is definitely heading your way. It's very realistic for you right now to make your goals happen. And this is telling me that even maybe in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm getting like 6 months from now, which is roughly after the winter, that you're going to start having good news, having a surplus again. So realistically, set your goals for that particular time period. Make sure you make it through the winter, which is 6 months, and have a goal at the end of that. So I don't know if it's make X amount of money or a goal to go travel somewhere or to relocate somewhere, something that whatever your goal is, I think that realistically you could meet it in 6 months or so. So just make that plan on sooner rather than later. Okay, so next is what will help you reach this goal more quickly. What can you do? Oh, but let me actually, before we go on to that, let me take a clarification card for this one. Okay, so we got the cornucopia card, which falls right in line of the surplus that I was telling you about. So that could be after the winter. So this is, again, like if you see this is after the fall, because cornucopias happen usually in the fall. There's a harvest. So that's when you're going to start seeing that money turn around before the winter hits or whatever. So that's good news. So this makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Okay. So, and what can you do to reach that goal more quickly? So that's what I was going to pick here. So we have the King of Pentacles. That's a very good card to get. So that means you have to be very strategic, like I was talking about. Set that plan in motion. Be very stern with that plan. Be very decisive with that plan. It's got some Saturn energy in it too, and that energy that's in Capricorn. So you want to really channel that Saturn energy and that Capricorn energy for you, especially around fall before the winter hits. And you just gonna have to be very strict with yourself. That's what this card is about, is being very strict with your money, very disciplined. So let's get clarification on that one. So, door to personal healing and happiness. Okay, so along this way of you being, strict on yourself, also remember that what you're really after is happiness, okay? It's not always just about the money. It's about happiness, and along the way, make sure you're taking good care of yourself and you're healing yourself. So really focus on what you can do spiritually and emotionally instead of what you can do financially, because the finances will come as long as you're very careful with your money all the way through winter, okay? All right, so now this last card is, what's the best thing to spend your money on? So even though you're trying to be really frugal at this point of time, there may be something that it's okay to spend money on. So let's find out what that is. Okay, so we have the Eight of Swords, which is the Canis Major. Okay, so this is telling me that it's okay to spend money on whatever protects your family, whatever protects your loved one, whatever protects your heart, whatever. This card is really about protection, but also it's about protecting others that you really care about as well. So basics, get your basics met. So if it's just buying enough clothes to go to work, or if it's just buying enough food to last you for a while, nothing extravagant at this particular time, but just stuff that's going to keep you and your loved ones protected and safe. So let's just take this last card and find out what it is for what you can spend your money on. And it says the Healer of All Ages. Healer of all ages. So this is things that are going to help you feel better in your soul. And So if what you're buying doesn't fulfill you with something that makes your makes you feel emotionally better and spiritually better and feels like it's connecting with your soul, then you don't need it. It's not something you need to spend your money on, okay? So what you can spend your money on is things that make you feel that way. So whether it's some yoga class or meditation class, or and also like I put up some chakra videos. They're free, so you don't even have to pay for that. Just go, look at what I posted earlier this month, and then so whatever you can do to make your soul feel better, you're allowed to spend money on that. Okay,